Ah, fate loves irony. I entitled this video the $100 silver prize party. Come celebrate with us. And then what does silver do within like 3 hours or something? Drops like $10, close down to $100. But we are celebrating the triple digit history for silver now. We'll take a look at silver where we are right now. Looking a little short term bearish, very short term. We'll do some silver analysis. We're going to have a good old silver's hit triple digit price party. It happened a few days ago. I promised when we did, we would do it. And we're doing it today. Join me. Good morning, Stackers. I am Joe Main, going out live on X, YouTube, and on Facebook. Use the time codes below to go to your favorite part. But if you're watching live, you get to enjoy, every single thing we do here at Good Morning, Stackers with me, Joe Main. And as I did say, we do normally do some kind of dancing it out because it's a silver price party. We did it at 50 US dollars. We did it at 100 Australian dollars as well. We're going to do it again. We won't do the big version. We'll do the small version. And what you can do at the same time is you can join me for the synchronized slurp. That's where you grab a tasty beverage. I've got my tasty beverage. We slurp them synchronously together. It's a live show. Anything can happen, as you quite know. But you are watching.
Good morning, Stack. Oh yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, Stack. It's podcast time.
Do it with me. Grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
Let's do the
Synchronized slurp. Now we're on.
3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning, Stack. Oh yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, Stack. It's podcast time.
That'll do. So great to see you. I am Joe Main, been a stacker of precious metals since 2010, a stacker of other things, crypto since 2013, and I'm now doing this show. Been doing it for a while. The show is brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. If you want to learn to be a better investor or a full-on trader, okay, there's a number of courses that you can do. And if you want to find out more, I work now for Mastering the Markets. I'm an enrollment advisor. Joe.main at masteringthemarkets.com. Speak to me. The courses, the school is open to anyone around the world. It is Australian based. We have many international students, and I'll talk more about those. We're going to do some shout outs. Give me a second though. Can you do me a big, huge favor as per usual? Can you head over to x.com/It's Joe Main for me? Because I go live on here too, and I've just got to do this thing. Everyone loves it when I do it. It's the favorite part of your day. Why wouldn't it be when you see me just do random things on the internet? There we go. Excellent. Excellent. And let's go back over here. No, I'll go here. We'll do some quick shout outs. Then we'll get to the silver analysis. Short-term bearish, like real short-term. Okay. And then we'll look at the larger time frames. And then I'll take your chart requests. I'll do it else. I'm your private dancer. GMS says, Mark, Florida man. Had to officially sign in and celebrate this milestone with Joe and the gang. Thank you. Been around almost, if not actually, since the beginning. You're actually one of my first subscribers, Mark, so that's very true. Thanks, Florida man. So congratulations to everyone. Top of the morning to you, says Luke Nutters. Good to see you, friend. Pete Repeat is here. Party time, party time. Good morning, future millionaires. Absolutely, if you're not one already. Hi, GMS, what a crazy night. Crazy night indeed. Hello, Pete Repeat. Let's get some more people in. And at this time, what I'll do is I'll go straight over to here. All right. Here is silver on the daily time frame price in USD. Let me just see though. Is that pretty good? Oh, I think that's good. I had to move that, so let me move that back a little bit more so you can see it a little better. Is that better? Close enough for jazz? Yeah, close enough for jazz. That's good. Here is silver on the daily time frame priced in USD. We have got $103,004. Big drop, hey. Now, let's go into how short-term traders would have seen that this was coming, and they would have placed some trades accordingly. And then we'll talk about the daily time frame. Then we'll zoom out and we'll go to weekly, monthly, 3 monthly, quarterly. See where we are at the moment. Okay. Let's pop into the hour time frame. Hour. That's so Australian. hour time frame. Happy Australia Day, by the way, to everyone from yesterday. Okay, so congratulations if you're living in Australia. Let's see. Short-term bearishness would have been seen after this candle right here on the 1 hour time frame. So what you're looking for as a trader, as a short-term trader, and this is true for any time frame. So actually what you're looking for are the same things, except you might be doing it as just an investor or a swing trader, a longer term, and you're just looking for it on the larger time frames. But as a day trader, you're looking for the following on the 1 hour. See, you've got, of course, this, where are we? You've got successive, higher high, equal highs and equal lows, or higher highs and higher lows, roughly, like from around. So higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and let's see what an indicator like the relative strength index is doing. Is it following along? Is there convergence? And if not, if there is convergence, and where there might be divergence. Okay, so you are basically, things were following along, and this is going back from like yesterday. Okay, again, this is day trading, right? We're just looking on the hour time frame. Okay, this is just for the short term people wanting to take some profits. Cool. So everything's basically moving in convergence. You had a little bit of divergence there, and we saw that price dip, but then the price is moving up, higher highs, higher lows. Great, it's moving all in convergence. Then you notice you get to here, higher high, lower high. Okay, now that is not the signal to get out. Okay, for some people, they may have been going into the 15-minute time frame, or even the 5-minute time frame. Okay, and then they would have been seeing maybe here they're going, oh, okay, it's getting a little bit toppy, sure. But on the hour, okay, it wasn't until you pivoted. Now you pivot, or you can recognize a pivot or a peak, right? Peaks and troughs. You can recognize a peak in one of a couple of ways. If, for example, the price did one, not two, not big candles, but like 1, 2, 3, kind of like that, then you go, okay, that's a pivot. That's definitely a pivot. Or if it does it in one big candle, it's like, okay, that's a massive dip. Okay, and that's, I've forgotten the technical term for it, but if you're dipping past that previous level right there, oof, okay? So that whole candle was suggesting, all right, that's a pivot. So then you've got a pivot on higher high, lower high. That would have been basically the time on that candle close. For a lot of people, that would have been the time to, okay, take some profits, and okay, that's definitely pivoting. And probably for some, actually for many, it would have actually been after you broke through there. Okay, you break through there, and then it was just like continuing down. Cool. So that's short term. Now let's take a look at where we are on the daily. We'll just go the 4 hour as well. Short answer is I wouldn't be panicking. I wouldn't be panicking. I mean, again, you're buying for the long term and all that, but let's go the 4 hour. 4 hour, yeah, I mean, very clear spike. All right, that's called a shooting star candle. It means, and we've talked about it many times before, where you have big spikes in the upward direction. Not great because on that particular time frame, because it says sellers are very much in control of the markets, and then we've seen that move down. On the daily, this is also set up, and it has closed the day red. Okay, a big shooting star. So here's the things that I'm noticing on the shorter term. Okay, we're talking numbers, we're talking days, maybe week, 2 weeks, something like that, and we'll see where we go from there. So this is what I see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick the 4, whether it's there or there. It doesn't really matter. 3, 4, 5. Okay, markets generally move in 5 ways. 5 waves. They do it in smaller term time frames and larger term time frames. Okay, all time frames it happens. So even within, say, this move to this move, if you go into the smaller time frames, you'd see like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of thing, right? So it's like it's like fractals. It's like fractals within fractals within. Right? It's like Russian dolls. Cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off of. Do we notice? Okay, bearish divergence. Okay, and that is most definitely 100% now. And look, okay, unless we do the following, which is always possible, but unless you've got to say that's basically the pivot there. Unless in the next 24 hours, we go and we shoot straight back up. That's usually not a thing. Okay, after such a big spike there and a close below, you usually don't get that kind of move. Anything can happen in this crazy silver game at the moment, and many might believe, we're just going to keep going up from here, like straight away. Okay, my bet is to the average, which is not. Okay, so I'm betting that we do see, after 5 waves, we do see a little bit of consolidation. Cool. And where might we consolidate to? Well, after a 5-wave move, you're not just going to be consolidating, say, from there to there, you're actually consolidating the entire move. Okay, so then we have to look at that entire move. And then we pop in our expected support zone, which is called the zag zone. Why is it called the zag zone? Well, markets zig and markets zag. They go up naturally, they go down naturally, and right, as long as you're not breaking through the zag zone, that's cool. All right, now again, this is on the daily. All right, and I'm not saying we are getting to any of these levels. I'm saying you just got to watch out for them. Cool. On the daily though, you've got you've now got to watch under $100. Okay, so we talk about the strength of support. Okay, and so this would be at $90. Just watch out for here. Watch out for $90. Okay, not saying 100% is getting there, but that's, after a 5-wave move, could we turn around and do that? Yeah, sure. Could we range here? That would be very, very positive. So these levels of support go from very strong, neutral, weak. It's still support, but it's weak support, very weak support. You really don't want to start getting below here. I don't necessarily think we get there, okay? But, very strong support would be actually if you just bounce off the psychological value. And look where that sits. The 0.236, which is very strong support, is at $100.60, roughly, which is a psychological value of 100. Imagine if it just bounces and ranges for a little bit off of 100 and then goes through. Sure, fantastic. On balance of probability, I do feel it gets probably down to at least that 90. So I'm betting on $90 coming. More likely than not, I give it more than a 50% chance. Cool. So that's on the daily. And as an investor in precious metals, physical precious metals too, you shouldn't be worrying about the daily time frame too much. You've got to be, it depends on what the weekly and the monthly is doing. So let's go to that. Let's get rid of all that. No, I'll get rid of you rather than. All right, so here's the weekly. Okay, weekly, big spike on the weekly. So far now, the week has just opened, so there is room still to go. We can fake us out here and then it can close. So if it starts closing up in this week, up the week here, around about it's anywhere after like 110, 112, you can say, okay, then the momentum is still looking fine. At the moment, not looking great, but the week has not closed yet. Okay. And no, I'll just leave it for the daily for the moment. And I won't do weekly stuff because I can't say the week hasn't closed. So we haven't pivoted just yet on the weekly time frame. So I won't start doing longer consolidations or anything like that. I'm not going to call the wave 3 top in just yet. We need a little bit more data. Okay. Let's take a look at the monthly. Monthly for the moment. This is on the linear. I'll take it to the logarithmic. Monthly, I mean, you've got a few days to go. As long as we don't spike too high. Sorry, let me start that again. As long as we don't have a too large of a spike. Okay. Kind of here. I'd say no lower than about $100 closing for the month is preferable. Okay, if you start closing below 100, you're like, wow, it's a pretty decent spike, and then that can set it up for some lower prices coming. That could be the wave 3 top in. From a seasonality point of view, doesn't seem to be correct just yet. Not towards the end of January, more closer to like late Feb, April kind of time frame. But yeah, don't want to close preferably the month below that 100. Okay, please and thanks. Could be setting it up for that wave 3 top. Let's take a look at so that's the monthly. Take a look at the quarterly. Quarterly on the logarithmic chart. And let me get rid of this because it's annoying me. And we'll get to some other, we'll look at gold, we'll look at platinum, we'll take a quick look at copper, uranium, and I'll take some chart requests if we have the time. But mate, look at this. I mean, it is still absolute party time here at Good Morning Stackers because look how far we've come. It's absolutely ridiculous, okay? Broke the all-time high. Was it last month or the month before? Something like that, okay? Not that long ago, right? Looking great. On the quarterly, yeah, fine. Closing anywhere around about here is fine. Would set it up for, anywhere around the top end here would set it up for a good second quarter, okay? And that would be, into the April, but what you could see from April around about, and we're all spitballing here, okay? And like a quick spike and then down. So it's just from around here, as we've been saying, as I've been saying, as many other people have been saying, from around here, as I said, anywhere after 95, from 95 to like the early 100s, that's getting toppy in terms of your wave 3 top. Now, I did, and by the way, welcome to all my new subscribers, 500 and something new subscribers from a couple of days ago. You found my video called How to Spot the Silver Top, and we talked about the waves. Okay, the waves, 1, 2, 3. We talked about the phases, we talked about accumulation, public participation, excess. I had a lot of people commenting, this time it's different. And for me, that's a really good sentiment check to see where we are right now. So that tells me all the people, and some people calling me a moron, and some people go, like, you expect all that. I'm not offended by it. Because you expect it at this kind of pricing, right? You don't expect to be, this is the thing, don't expect to be called a moron about silver when the price is in accumulation here. All right, it's not when you're not getting called a moron about silver in the topping kind of thing, right? You're not getting called a moron there, right? You're getting called a moron up here when people are much more euphoric. Okay, so round about here from 95, early hundreds. Yeah, we're getting toppy. Okay, could this be it now? Can't say it just yet. Wait for the next few days, see what happens. But yeah, 1, 2, 3. Then we'll get the 4. Again, could be a big dip. I don't think so. Could be just a sideways, piss everyone off kind of action for like 6 or more months. And then, okay, then we're talking much, much higher. Ignore where I just put the price, okay? Could it go to $700 really quickly? Yeah, maybe. Could it go to $1,000 an ounce? It could do, okay, sure. And I don't mean to do $1,000. I'm not making fun of those people, but you do get the people who are saying, $1,200 in 2026, for example. It's like, yeah, no, that's not probably going to happen. Cool. You get the wave 3. You get the wave 4, then you get the wave 5 into 2030, 2032. I'm very confident now, and I'll make a video coming up soon. Very unlikely now that my minimum target is going to be where we hit. So my minimum target previously was $200 in the wave. Since we're now up, we've gotten up to like $120. You're not just going to get to a minimum of 200. So that's not going to be. Sorry, let me start that again. My minimum needs to be raised, and I probably will raise my minimum in a video very, very soon. Once we get the wave 4 top and that starts coming in, we'll talk about the top for 2030, 2032. It's not going to be minimum 200 anymore. I'll tell you that much. It's going to be higher. So ignore where I'm saying it's going. Ignore where I'm putting all this right now. It's just giving you a pattern. But that's the pattern that will play out. And this time is not different. Yes, I understand supply and demand and all that stuff. I've been in precious metals since 2010 when all of us were talking about supply and demand. We're talking about the derivatives contracts. We were talking about a 300-to-1 paper to physical difference. All that stuff that you newbie stackers are talking about now and calling, this time is different. I was saying all the same things back here during the excess phase of 2010, 2011. Now, for you guys, luckily, you're not in the excess phase yet. You're in the public participation. 1, 2, 3. You'll get that. Then you'll get that. Okay? That's my humble non-financial advice opinion. And should you be selling silver now? Not if you If you're looking to make some short-term profits and you don't want to get back into silver again, sure, do that. Highly recommend not selling any physical silver. I'm not. I don't plan to. If I do, it might be, I don't know, just for maybe moving into other things like, silver mining stocks. But I'm not getting out of the silver game at all whatsoever. We've got the excess phase still to go. So that's the quick silver analysis. It's looking short-term bearish on the daily, and we are about to open the new day in 6 minutes. Very likely you're going to see maybe a little fake around here, and then I'd say within the next few days you are going to see a bit of a price dip, and do watch out for that, as I said, that $90 area, roughly. Is it there? That's the wrong one, Joe. That was the 1 hour. What am I doing? Oh, hang on. Did I just do, hang on a second, was that on the 1 hour? Oh, that was on the 1 hour. The day, logarithmic. Sorry, linear, that's why. There you go. Watch out for that $90 area kind of sitting around about there. Looks pretty juicy to me, okay? Previous area of support as well. Yeah, potentially something like that, and then we'll see what happens from there. Cool. That's silver. I'll go back, read some comments, then we'll take a look at gold, platinum, and all that. But it is a silver price party. Over triple digits. Absolutely amazing. We've got lots of people watching. Fantastic. Great to see so many people watching. I am Joe Main. If you just joined it, if you're watching on the replay, use the time codes. If you're watching live, we talk about precious metals. We talk about other assets too. I will read some comments now. I always give preference to super chats. They always get the things. If you want me to read out your comment or do a chart request, super chats are the way. Party time. We did that one. I just joined your X channel party. Thanks, Cornelius. I love your work, man. Party. Here we go. Not as much partying like when silver hit 40s back on 2012. Interesting comment. Brilliance. Yes, almost unbelievable that 100 USD for 1 troy ounce will be considered a bargain. I do agree. Silver 120 in 24 hours buying dip. So you believe silver will head back up to that $120 mark. You could be right. Asian market will buy the dip. You could be right. China is grabbing up real wealth while it was given away today. You also could be right. Silver is a black hole vacuuming up the whole stock market and all the crypto too. Yeah, I mean, again, I've been in crypto since 2013, but and I dollar cost average into Bitcoin, just small amount, 5% of my portfolio, because it's got to be part of your portfolio these days. But yeah, I have no problem telling you when I'm bearish crypto, and I'll have no problem telling you when I am bearish on silver over the longer term. When the top is in, I will shout it to the world, and I will say to you guys, I ain't in precious metals anymore. Okay, because there will come a time where they will be massively overvalued versus something else. That time isn't coming for a very long time, but just so you know, I'm not a bag holder. I'm not married to my bags. Hyperinflation is driving up silver. I don't believe it's hyperinflation just yet. No. See, again, these are all the narratives. You have to understand where we are in the cycle now. These are all the narratives, the exact same ones that I was talking about, and telling the world in YouTube comments, just like you, Brilliance. And I'm not having a go at you. I'm just saying where I can tell where we are sentimentally, or sentimentality is, yeah. People saying the same thing roundabout now just gives me that top end of the wave 3 top kind of vibe. Cool. It's okay. They can sell all the paper silver they want, keep the silver down. All I know is that physical silver they won't be able to print, obviously. Yeah, correct. Physical is in short supply, used in all industrial uses. And again, all the narrative I was talking about in 2010, all that stuff. GMS friends, nasty sell-off after epic run up. Everything on sale. Don't miss out. Says LAM. Good to see you, man. Party mood hard to find, but year 100 plus. Oh, someone downvoted. Oh, okay. You can do that too. Go for it. For every dislike that I get, can you give me a like? So if you haven't given me a like on the YouTube thing right now, can you do that for me? That'd be lovely. And give me a heart on X as well. I'm watching in portrait mode. I'm watching in portrait so your hair fits in the shot. Thanks, man. Yeah. It literally takes me about 2 weeks after a haircut to need another haircut. Is what it is. I see higher all-time high later this week, if not next week. This is a really great sentiment check of likes versus dislikes. So I never get dislikes ever. And now the fact that I've gotten 2 dislikes tells you, and this is where you have to be a contrarian. The more comments you get on your chat saying you're an idiot, you're a moron, don't you understand the fundamentals? This time it's different. And the more dislikes you get on a thing, that is telling me that the wave 3 top, not a full top, but a wave 3 top is coming. Okay, if it's not all in already. Cool. Do you think BTC will bounce back this year? We'll take a quick look later. It's triple digit party time. All right, I don't have time to get all through. Oh, no, there's a few more. Buy it where you can find it. What is your X? Thanks for asking. I appreciate you asking. It is x.com/it's Joe Main right here. x.com/it's Joe Main right there. Going live. Cool. Let's go back to here. Okay. Excellent. Let's go to the market has just opened. So let's go back to silver and let's see what's happening. Cool. Let me go here. The market is open again. Let me go here and get rid of all this junkola. 1, 2, 3, and I'll get rid of that too. So market's opened. We'll see what happens in the next hour or so. We won't be here forever. But yeah, what you can expect on the opening of a day, and as I said at the start of this quick silver analysis, you could do the following. As I said, you could do the following because are we in unprecedented times? Is, for example, Shanghai opening and they're going to buy the dip and then you just see, after this big spike, you just see a huge green God candle come in and just erase that? Yes, it is possible. Okay? I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying on balance of probability, more often times than not, you might see a little fake out here and then we head down for a little bit. Cool. Would I be happy to be wrong and then we just shoot up like this? I was about to swear. Absolutely I would, because that just means the party's not over in the wave 3 top. Okay, we're not even close to it, right? I'd love for that to happen. And I hope it does. Could I be right though, and then we have a little fake out here after that big spike? Yeah, could be. So let's just see. Cool. That is silver. Let's just see how the market is opening in Australia, because we have what do we got here? Here's the quick daily opening for the market. The market has just opened. We're about 1 minute open. So I guess we haven't really... I'll wait a couple more minutes. Let me go to gold. And then we'll look at platinum. And then we'll look at a couple of other things. Where are you, Joe? Yeah, I need to wait for a couple of minutes before the market's fully open. Here is gold. Here's gold on the daily time frame, priced in USD. $5,000, dudes. That's also party time for gold, but I'm going to tell you right now, it is looking short-term bearish. I say short-term in just, we're talking the daily time frame again, okay? Why? Well, because bearish divergence, which was playing out, and it is playing out, doesn't mean it plays out forever, but yeah, you're making higher highs, higher lows. Things were going in convergence, pretty much. Higher highs, higher low, and look at all that, right? Convergence, right? Higher highs, basically matching it good. Then you did this, higher high, equal high. Cool, so something is diverging. That's why you see that price dip, okay? And on the hourly time frame, it would have changed market structure. So it changed market structure on the hourly, right? There, lower high. Okay, so that's why you're seeing a bit of a dip. Cool. After such a large move, people take profits. Oh, gee, what do you know? It's human psychology. It happens on shorter term time frames. It happens on the large time frames as well. And that's how I know that based on my video from yesterday, how to spot the silver top, that's how I know that the phases of the market, like we talked about yesterday, will still happen, okay? Because humans are going to human. So that's, daily. Again, could we shoot through here? Absolutely could. But it's looking a little bit toppy. It's actually less of a spike than the silver spike. Okay, weekly though, as I showed you, weekly, nothing's happening on the weekly. I mean, nothing bad's happening on the weekly. So you could just head up from here. Absolutely. On the weekly, we have not pivoted. Unlike silver, see, gold has not had a big candle down. So this is on the weekly, right? That's your weekly. Big difference there, right? And go back to gold. Okay, gold could keep climbing for a little bit. And what we're noticing with the gold to silver ratio is finding perfect support, well, basically perfect support. So here's the gold to silver ratio. That's as much as I'm going to do for gold. It looks stronger than silver at the moment. Okay, and then of course, when you take a look at the gold to silver ratio, we are at a major level, right? Call it buying. It's not buying, but buying, support. We'll call it support, overshoot. Okay, but for a very long time, you've had that support zone in there. As we know, that's sort of the infamous psychological 50 level. It's around about between 45 to 50, and we've finally come down to it. You're also in oversold territory on the monthly. Okay, on the weekly, you've been in there for a while. You've had a nice little spike. Okay, so we're not out of the woods yet in terms of gold versus silver. Okay, gold could continue to underperform, but it's looking like it's about to turn around. It's at a major point here. If you also look on the daily, we have potential bullish divergence on the gold to silver ratio. Nothing's pivoted yet. That's an interesting spike. So that's probably it. And I'm probably going to say quite likely, but we need to see a couple of more daily candles in order to say, okay, that's a pivot point. Okay. Then you could say, okay, lower low, higher low. Every time this RSI, this trading view thing annoys me. Higher low, bullish divergence off of a very key support level. Then if you break market structure, meaning if you do the following like that, and then you start making higher highs, okay, that's the confirmation, that's the trigger to say that gold is now going to outshine silver for a period of time. So we're not there yet, but there are some signals, there are some blinkers on, okay? So you don't act on it. Not that you would want to act on it really anyway if you're investing in silver for the longer term, it doesn't matter. But for people who are, okay, if there's anyone out there watching and you're like, and no one can stop you because you're you, right? You do you. But if you're thinking, man, I really want to swap some silver for gold at around about this point, okay, but how do I know that it is now going to turn around and say head back up to higher from here? What you're looking for, first off, you're looking for the signals. Okay, so the signals are bearish divergence. The signals are a major support level, which is there. That's the signal, but the trigger is not until, again, you get a change of market structure. And that means that's where you're making successive new higher highs and higher lows. You are making lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, so lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. When you do this, higher low, so lower high, higher low, that the second it gets through there, if it does that, that's your trigger based off all your other signals. That's where you might consider swapping some silver for gold if that was your plan to do so at that point. I'm certainly not swapping any silver for gold here at 50. I don't see the point. I'm waiting for the longer term. I'm not selling my physical silver. I'm waiting for that, much, much lower over the next excess phase, which we're coming into eventually. Cool. That's the gold to silver ratio, but very low at the moment. Let's take a look at platinum. Yeah, here's platinum on the daily time frame. USD 2,589. Very clear spike to my expected resistance level. Yeah, hit it pretty perfectly, okay? Why was this expected resistance? Because on the 1, 2, 3 wave count moves so far that we've got. You've got a trend-based Fibonacci, and that was sitting here on the linear scale at 2,845. And then if I pop it on logarithmic, you've got the 1.618 sitting at $3,300. So I put a wave 3 potential top, and we haven't pivoted, so I'm not saying the wave 3 top is in, but we've hit that top end there, 2,900 and something, but it's a pretty good spike to there, and we're doing that on some bearish divergence as well. I'll show you that's the weekly, on the daily, very clearly, right? Come up to a major resistance level on bearish divergence. Cool. Again, we haven't pivoted just yet. You need a couple more days to say that's a definite pivot, although, yeah, look, if I'm eyeballing that, it's pretty pivoty. I mean, look at that big spike. And then, yeah, I mean, that's a candle that has closed below the previous one. Yeah, no, that's a pivot. Unless you do the following, okay? Unless you do that today, you're pretty much going to say that's the pivot point. So I won't call it just yet, just to be safe. Yeah, you could sail through. I don't think so, but yeah. So very likely is maybe a little bit of a consolidation. And if it is, I'll do if this, then that. Okay, if this, then that. We'll at least we'll go to here first. And you'll be looking at possibly into here. Yeah, possibly. There you go. Previous resistance becomes support. So that would be very bullish. If you come down and test about 2,500, that would be really bullish if you range off there and then just start going back up. Mwah, chef's kiss, and then we'll talk about higher prices. I'll leave it that for now. Yeah, I do think we're probably going to pivot here and just either head down further or just range for a bit. So I wouldn't be expecting higher prices in platinum in the next couple of days at least. Could I be wrong? Yes. Does it matter for the long term? No, because on the monthly, it still looks good. There and there. So on the monthly, yeah, you've got a few more days until we close. As I said before, like with silver, if you start closing the month anywhere below about 2,500, then I would be going, oh, okay, yeah, that could be the spike. Okay, that could be the wave 3 top. Okay, could be. Yeah, so don't close anywhere below 2,500, preferably, roughly. Yeah, about there-ish. Wouldn't want to see it close below there for the month, because that'd be a decent spike. That is platinum. Copper. Copper's looking good. Copper looks great. I would be highly looking into copper. I would be looking into not physical copper. You can buy it, but the premiums are pretty bad, as in they're just high. It's like you pay much, much more for it because the prices are so low, right? So the percentage above spot is really huge because, dealers have to make money. But copper is looking really good. The way you could get into copper is via some ETFs, some mining stock index, or some individual mining stocks. I did a video on my channel, which is actually doing well again. It's called 9 Amazing Copper Stocks. You can find it after this show. Copper looking great over the longer term. And it's really holding up versus the silver spike down and the gold spike down. So for example, let me show you here. Let's go copper to silver ratio. Let's see where we are. Oof. Now, silver has been absolutely caning copper, right? We absolutely sailed through this level right here. Okay, so as this is going up, copper's the play to be in. As this is going down, silver's outperforming copper, and it's just been absolutely killing it. Let's look at some indicators. It is starting to get to a bottoming area. Okay, it will turn around eventually because that's what markets do. Things are the flavor of the month of the year, and then other things lag behind, and then they start having their time in the sun. Okay, we are coming towards that time. On the weekly time frame, again, you can spend a lot of time in the oversold area, but it won't be forever. So from around here, okay, on the daily time frame, not just yet, I would say. Yeah, there's no bullish divergence playing out just yet. So I just want to make mention, though, keep an eye out for copper eventually because it's an industrial metal. The precious metals go first, and then, I mean, the precious metals can still keep going up. It's just that the industrial metals like copper, iron ore, zinc, nickel, those kind of things, which are seeing some price spikes, they then massively outperform, okay, in the later stages. So keep a keen eye out on it, and I will keep an update for you. I'll keep an eye out for you, and you can hit the big red subscribe button. That's, I think, all I want to do. Let's quickly go to check out the market once more, and I'll do this. Anything listed in orange is something, the orange flags here is something that I am currently in, besides my physical silver. Okay, we're talking about the stock market, right? Real quickly, let's have a look. TYX, don't worry about that. It's such a small cap that a 33% move makes absolutely no difference. VAR is up. This is Variscan Mines. That's up 20% for the day. Great. BSN is up. Great. Basin Energy is up 13% for the day. This is, just so you know, it's mineral acquisition. It's like, gold, silver based, etc. Mineral based. It's not uranium or anything like that. It's not a uranium play. That is absolutely looking like it's going to continue onwards and upwards. Okay, so Basin Energy. This is my one non-commodity stock that I'm in, and I'm just holding it for the long term. It's Can Group. It's to do with medical marijuana. Cool. RCM is up 10% for the day. Yeah, that looks really nice. Looks like we're going to... Oh, wow, looks like we're going to break. Okay. Yeah, it's looking really nice. So that's good. Lot is up. Not that one. I need Lot D. What's the other one? Did I not? Lot DB. Sorry, Lot DB is down. Okay. Lotus Resources down for a little bit because uranium is down. I won't do a full scan of everything, but I just want to look at the things that are up for the day. AIS is up 4%, but that's on the daily. That is to do with copper. What else is up for the day? BHP. Now, if you are not in BHP, I would highly recommend that you are. If you're looking for the best non-ETF play to capitalize on the copper rise, then this is the one you want to be in. BHP, obviously, like Australia's second largest company via market cap. I think Commonwealth Bank is still the largest. But this is huge. I mean, it's $250 billion market cap, okay? And it's probably going to be, as other people have said, like David Bird, head of Mastering the Markets, says it's probably going to be the first $1 trillion Australian market cap company, okay? 45% of its revenue comes from copper. Whole significant other amount of its revenue comes from nickel, industrial metals. We talk about the phases of the market. I did it with silver. That was its accumulation, public participation, and basically the last excess phase basically was a double top there, okay? But now accumulation, now we're just in the middle of public participation for BHP. And again, this is one that's like, I don't want to buy a copper ETF. I want to buy an individual mining stock. The biggest company, second biggest company, or the biggest company in commodities in Australia, it's kind of like owning an ETF, even though it's an individual stock because it's so large. The price isn't hugely volatile, but you're also getting the advantage of the fact that it pays a dividend as well. It's not huge, but it pays like 3.5%. Not bad, okay, for your superannuation account. If you've got lots of self-managed super, parking a decent portion in BHP for the longer term, we're talking out to 2030, 2032, possibly, well, actually even into like 2045 with the AI revolution, copper. BHP is going to be an absolute standout in the next decade or so. Cool, so just be aware of that, and I won't do anything else for the moment. Cool. Comments, and then we'll get your chart requests if I have some time. How does silver look? We just did it. Well, I'll quickly take a look. Let's go back, just see what it did on the daily. Did we have that little turnaround? Okay, we could be turning around. Could be. Wouldn't say we're quite out of the woods yet. Again, I just don't like that spike. What it could do is a very similar thing to here, though, right? big spike and then ranges for a little bit and then onwards and upwards. Okay. So we're at 106 at the moment. Cool. Let's see where the day takes us. Comments. Okay. So Living Adamant says URA went nuts yesterday, like most things in the US market, US pre-market, now on sale. Very bullish. Yeah, rare earth stocks. I'm bullish on rare earth as well. When FOMO turns into F around and find out. ASX will lift off more with stronger Australian dollar. Have enough US stocks. Yeah. Oh, right. So what the F is going on with this crash right now? It's not a crash. You're on wandering and musing. You're just on the 1 hour time frame, the 4 hour time frame. Zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out and have a look at the longer term. So I did all of that before. If you've just joined us for the live show, as soon as the live show is finished, just rewind and go back and watch the replay. When mainstream media is pushing it for FOMO, you know what's up. Yeah, that's true. Again, it's getting towards the top of the public participation when the media is, talking about the lines out the door and all that kind of stuff. All paper manipulation at this point. Yeah, but it still moves with the market though. People thinking this is a get rich quick scheme. It is absolutely not. No, it is not. New Stackers, Doctor says, interesting. New Stackers, if you're not willing to hold for 15 years, you have no business whatsoever in metals. You're welcome. I agree that if you're not holding, I take that back to 5 years. I agree and disagree. I do agree if you're not willing to hold, I agree, but 5 years, okay? If you're wanting to get rich quick in 2026, that isn't something that I'd be getting into silver right now for, okay? March, we bounce back. You could be right. I'm going backwards on this thing. Emotional damage for some, giving a thumbs down. See, now I've got 3 thumbs down. Anyone who hasn't given me a thumbs up, can you do so right now? Again, this is an amazing sentiment check where we are within the market. I'm going to get more thumbs down when I talk about, silver being in a potential wave 3 top. Cool. And the more thumbs down I get, the more I realize, that's where we are. Good morning, everyone, says Jason Rosana. Late to the party, but not late to $100. Once in a generation, crazy growth we're seeing. Yup. Enjoy the ride, stackers. Absolutely. Was this because of a margin call? The thing? Don't know. But I tell you what, the price is having a nice bounce back. So maybe we don't. Geez, I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to be wrong. And that we just sail up through, 118. Now, out of interest, let's go back to see. Actually, I'll read a couple more comments, then we'll sort of we'll finish up, unless I have any chart requests. Going to hold on to $100 silver till the end of the month. This is what you think, and then crash February. Okay. Going to be a big heartbreaker for most people. As long as it'll be a heartbreaker for people, again, who thought they were going to get rich in 3 months' time. It won't be a heartbreaker in the long term. No problem at all. And if you can sit through the heartbreak, just ride the wave, man. Ride the wave, dude. Let's see. Let's go back to, we're in silver here. Yeah, look, good. Okay. It'll be great if we end up, again, the start of this week, it fakes you out and then heads back up here. That'll be absolutely golden. Okay. So you could be heading back up. This could be a little blip along the way, and maybe we just get a few days like this, okay? Because once again, you technically haven't pivoted until you get a couple more days worth of that time frame. So again, if we do this and we do this, that's not a pivot point, okay? It's only if you do this kind of thing and you hover down here around this area, oh yeah, that's a pivot point, okay? That's a real pivot point. But if you do this, next day, the next day, something like that, that is not a pivot point, okay? So you can't say we've made the higher high and the lower high and the bearish divergence. Cool. You change with the data. Am I it? Is that it for the day? Am I done? I'll take some chart requests if I have any, and then, that's pretty much it. But it is a triple-digit silver price party. While I'm waiting for your comments and your We've got some here. Looks like gold is up now. Yeah, and the market goes up, market goes down. I always give a like, Joe, if I agree or not. I missed your show's start anyway. This is not a top in my opinion. Yeah, it might not be. Absolutely might not be. And by the way, if you missed the start, I was not saying it was the top. I'm just saying if this, then that. Didn't the Elliott wave have a three wave on the 100 to 104 support? Didn't the Elliott wave have a three wave on the one? I don't have time to unpack that, but I'll take a look and I will comment later if I can on maybe on a YouTube post or something. Good time to sell gold stocks, or would you hold? Again, gold stocks. So mining stocks versus the metal. Let's take a look at that. Let me go back here. Let's take a look at the physical metal versus the mining stocks. Okay. Is it a good time to sell? Short answer is I wouldn't be selling gold stocks because gold, precious metals tend to go and then the miners tend to go. So the physical goes and the miners go. But let's take a look at gold versus. So GDX versus. I have to go back here. Okay, where are we? All my stuff in pink here. Gold versus GDX. That's GDXJ versus that. Come on, where are you? Do I not have gold versus GDX? Get out of town. Gold versus GDX. Of course I do. Oh, I didn't. That's weird. Okay, cool. Here is gold versus the gold miners index. Okay. Gold versus gold miners. No, that's silver. Okay. That's silver, dude. Gold versus gold miners. All right. That's not what I want. I actually want the inverse. Sorry. I want GDX versus gold. That's why I do have this one. I don't have the inverse. There you go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the one I've had in before. So this is gold miners versus gold. Okay. It is absolutely still very highly undervalued. You're at a very key area right now. This is on the logarithmic scale. If I pop it there, much of a muchness. Right? You're at a very key level. So might you see a little bit of movement in gold miners versus gold to the downside? Yeah, I mean, you're at a key resistance level. You've done it once, you've done it twice. Third time might be the charm. So you did it here, came into that zone, and then fell out. Second time came into the zone, the blue zone right there. So from this high and this low, from this high and, this high and that low, it came into the zone resistance. Then it had that lower low there. So then we move it to there, came back into the zone, had a period of consolidation. It was showing, it was showing bullish divergence, rounding out. Now we're back again. So yeah, you could expect a little bit of something like this, but I think over the longer term, you are nowhere near done. Okay. And it's not until the gold miners massively outperform physical gold that you can even say that the physical gold is done rising as well. So both can be going up, but miners will be outperforming. And I'm expecting at least a test of up here. I'm expecting it to go through and head up to this general area up here. Okay, this is more your slightly overvalued kind of area. Okay, nowhere near done with gold miners. I wouldn't be selling just to hopefully buy back a little bit cheaper. I'd be just holding for the ride. My personal opinion. Okay. If we take a look at SIL versus silver as well, by the way, silver's been killing it. SIL versus silver. So this is the major silver mining index, major silver miners versus silver spot. And what did we recognize a while ago? We recognized that this was bottoming out. We recognized that we were going to have some outperformance by silver miners versus silver, and then we actually fell through the roof. Silver has absolutely chicaned the miners. Where are we back to right now? Double bottom right there, hasn't sailed through. On the weekly, let's see if there's any potential bullish divergence playing out. So we're in oversold on the daily time frame, we might be making some potential, what's the word I'm looking for? Complex bullish divergence here. So this is signaling that the silver miners might now turn around versus physical silver. Okay. Slight bullish divergence, and then it's turning into potential convergence, double bottom potentially right there as well. Okay, so bear that in mind. It would not be until you crack through right about here at 1.15, right there, that you can say that is turned into a bullish change of market structure. Remember, we talked about the signals, but you don't trade the signal, you trade the trigger. This was if you were investing for the first time and you're like, oh, I really want to buy silver here. Like, I really want to buy silver. It's like, well, do I buy physical silver or do I buy silver miners? You'd be looking at buying silver miners versus silver. Again, I'm a physical fan. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. I get all that. But if you don't mind the paper products as well, silver miners, and you're looking to outperform physical silver, yeah, you'd see this potential bullish divergence, and then you'd be trading the trigger, which would be a change of market structure. Okay, so they'd start making higher highs and higher lows. Cool. But we're not there yet. But it's looking pretty interesting. Double bottom on the larger time frames, some smaller time frame bullish divergence potentially coming in. So it could be time for the silver miners to hold them, even though silver might be just ranging for a bit. Cool. Or even if silver's going up, the miners might start outperforming. That is all I have to say about that. I think we're at 10:30. We're at the 1 hour mark. I'll do some final comments. If I have any chart requests, I might take a quick bit of time. And thank you so much for this. So thank you for this so much. You are very welcome. SLVR majors outperformed SILJ juniors over the last trading days. So the majors outperformed the miners. Yes, right. Final comments. Oh, what's your opinion on this so-called super cycle? Depends what you mean by super cycle. Are people saying it's like not going down from here at all? We're not going to see a wave 3 top. It's just onwards and upwards. Now, if you're talking super cycle, let's go. Let's have a look. Let's go and have a look. Can you give me a definition of super cycle? So maybe I need to go back here and maybe you will explain a little bit further. It really does depend on your definition. Mint. Let's see. Yeah, I need your definition of super cycle. I'll read some other comments here. You could call this the bullion bank's short last stand. Most are long now anyway. Many are. And probably wanted to fill their bags more on the cheap. Yeah, whenever they can slam the price down and then buy back cheaper, I'd do that. The thing that the gold dip is not following the silver dip is telling me that after all, it's just a dip and not a major correction yet. Great. I'm doing this for the long term for retirement and only started a few years ago. Oh, you're still looking really good though. I'm 58. Do we recommend buying silver on paper at all in large quantities? I'll need to stack more for the future is all. Do we recommend buying silver on paper at all in large quantities? I'm trying to pass out what you mean by the comment. If you're saying, should I buy paper silver like silver mining stocks? I would own some silver mining stocks as well. Maybe just like an ETF like the SIL or the SILJ, something like that. If you're talking about trading paper derivatives for like on leverage, don't mess with the leverage. I wouldn't. Hope that helps. Question above. Yes, got that. Chart request, SPD. No worries, mate. How strong is platinum potential compared to other metals over the next 12 months? Is it the only metal along with palladium that is still barely at all-time high? It is true, yes, because gold goes first, then silver goes, then platinum goes. So platinum does have some room to go higher versus the other two. Correct. That's how it goes. Gold, silver, platinum, then you get into your coppers, your nickels, all that stuff. Commodities super cycle. Oh, yes, there is a commodities super cycle. Some analysis says, yes, we are in a commodities super cycle. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's taking you out to, depends what you mean by super cycle, but it's taking you out to about 2045. So short answer is yes. Commodities super cycle, correct. AI revolution, data centers, all that stuff. Okay. Needs silver, needs copper, needs uranium, nuclear energy as well. All those baskets of commodities are in a super cycle, yes, and I'll call that till like 2045, around that time. Let's see. Don't do anything that I say. Cool? I would recommend silver mining stocks or a better silver ETF, precious metals, etc. for the 58-year-old. Yeah. Let's see. SPD said, living Adam man, you shall get it, friend. Let's go. This will be the one and only chart request I do because we are over the 1 hour mark. And also I have my job to get to at 12 o'clock, which I'll tell you about. You really want to know it. By the way, you really want to know what my job is. Many of you do. But for my new subscribers, like all 500 and something of you, you want to find out what my new job is. Been at it 2 weeks. Other than this job, my day job. And that's not my night job. My nighttime job is something different. As many of you know, SPD. Oh. I had SPD. I don't think I SPD. All right. Here is SPD. So this is Southern Palladium. Quick little chart request for living Adam man. One of my esteemed subscribers. Here's SPD on the monthly time frame. Australian dollars. Sorry, $2.65. It's bullish. That's all you have to know. Looks great. Quarterly time frame. Nothing's really stopping this train at the moment. That's on the logarithmic. That's on the linear. Always good to look at the linear as well. Cool. We broke out of massive accumulation going back to 1995. Okay. Had a spike and then back down. Then this has been absolutely tearing. Looks good. Monthly, a little bit oversold on the monthly. I'll pop on the volume as well. Volume's great on the monthly. That's right. Weekly, the volume's still good. Weekly, you just really need to see it clear that $2.90 pretty quick smart. Daily, you might, it's not there yet. No, the volume's still good. The volume's still making higher highs. So the volume is preceding the price. So that's good. So I'm not going to say bearish divergence or anything just yet. This could just be this kind of thing, markets go up for a bit, then they go sideways for a bit, then they have a leg up, then they have a leg sideways. So you could absolutely see another leg up. This could, let's see, that's a breakout there. Is that your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I don't think so. So I think you could potentially, I think you're fine for now. You might get another leg up and then just watch out for potential bearish divergence there where you do something like that. Okay, so you make a higher high and then you make a lower high, and that would be a signal. Am I telling you should buy right now? Not necessarily for the short term, but if you're looking to buy for the longer term, so Southern Palladium engages in the provision, acquisition, and advancement of platinum group metals. In projects in South Africa. So it's platinum, it's palladium, etc. Yeah. It's not, I'll put it this way. There are probably other plays out there that are better to get into now. So as a trader, you're not buying this now. As a trader, you would have been buying here on that break, and that's pretty much it. And then you would have been riding this wave. And now you're riding this wave until it shows a bearish change of market structure, which it's not doing. So I think you've asked me about this one before, LAM. So I think you probably hold SPD. I wouldn't be selling it here, but I wouldn't be buying any more here. Okay, so just you're long and strong, and you're not selling until you start getting a bearish change of market structure at least on the weekly and the daily. Okay, so it's not until you start making lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so if you start, let me put it this way, you crack through there, get out. If you crack through there, get out, and then if it goes back up, then okay, look, you just buy back in. It's so easy just to buy back in. But if you cross through, $2.05, that's a time to get out, because what you're doing then is that would be a higher low. That's good, but that's a lower high. then a lower low, that's a bearish change of market structure, and then you're out. Your reasons to be in are no longer valid, so you get out. Cool. So until you're below 205, hold it. You're good. And then, ride it up. And then if you get, something like this, dirt, then you're out. Or if you get something like this, dirt, then you're out. Cool. That's that. Final comments, and I'm out. Thanks, bro. You are more than welcome. Please hit the big red subscribe button to help me out. I go live on Tuesdays and on Thursdays and all of my stuff in between. I did promise you all I would tell you about my new job. Many of you know. Let's go here. Did I post? Yeah, this is on Facebook. Many of you know my new job. I am an enrollment advisor for Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. It is the greatest financial literacy school in terms of trading and market analysis and investment analysis that I've ever seen. Okay, I am doing their year-long comprehensive course. All right, this is Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. They are Australian-based, but their school is open to anyone. We have lots of international students. I'm doing their year-long comprehensive course. I'm halfway through. Term 3, Unit 3 starts like next week. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm starting my Elliott Wave unit. So for a whole 10 weeks, it's mastering Elliott Wave. Well, learning about it and getting really good at it, hopefully. So I'm doing their year-long comprehensive course. And then they were looking for enrollment advisors because they're growing really, really rapidly. So many more new students. They have 300 and something new students for this January intake. The January intake is done. There's the 3-month course and the 12-month course. Doing the 12-month course has you doing the 3-month course. Okay, so many people like the 3-month though, and then they decide to upgrade because they realize it's so good. Anyway, short answer is if you want to find out about the courses, okay, how they work, my experience with them, you just send me an email. Okay, to joe.main@masteringthemarkets.com. I am an enrollment advisor. I'm a student as well. I'll tell you all about it. Of course, pricing, how it all operates as a school, etc. And I can tell you the benefits that I have received from it, which have been many. Okay, so reach out to me. What else do you need to know? If you want to buy precious metals, buy from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. I think they're the best bullion dealer in all of Australia, bar none. I've worked for 3 major gold and silver bullion dealers over 12 years. Kind of know what I'm talking about in terms of bullion dealers. They're doing it fantastically. And they give you free shipping when you have 20 or more items in your order. One of this, 2 of that. You don't have to buy 20 of one thing. Mix and match as long as there's 20 or more individual items in your order. 20 or more units, right? Then you're good. Cool. Free shipping Australia-wide. Express. perthbullion.com.au. That's it. I'm going to get out of here. Yep, no problem. Good. Thanks. You are welcome. Let's do a final synchronized slurp and we'll go. You'll get much more content probably tomorrow. Things are really ramping up here, so I'm going to keep the content going. Live on Thursday as well. Of course, my private silver investor club as well. But, I'll put a link below to that. Just check it out. Watch the video that I'll put a link to and all that. My private silver investor club from $1 a month, silver giveaways, specials, lively community, much, much more. Ladies and gentlemen, you've watched.
Good morning, Stack. Oh yeah, we're feeling fine.
For the second time.
It's podcast time.
One more time, grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
Let's do the
Synchronized slurp. Now we're
Go.
on the move. Good morning.
Thanks, people. I'm going to go have breakfast. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking whatever you're stacking, and I'll see you soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.